Hey, good morning. It's Monday, April 18, 2016. I'm Candace Red. Let's get straight to the weather with meteorologist Riley Hale. How's it looking this morning?
Good spring morning out there. Temperatures near 60 degrees. Not too bad. Not going to need any heavy jackets by any means. It's feeling good out there. Cloudy skies are keeping us mild, and they will persist through the majority of our Monday. We are going to keep a good bit mix of sun and clouds. High temperatures should be able to get into the upper 70s, low 80s out towards the hills. A little bit less cloud cover further east you go. Rain's heading our way by tomorrow, though. I'll have those updates coming up shortly.
All right, thanks, Riley. So Greenville police are still investigating a deadly shooting. It happened Saturday morning in the 100 block of North Pine Street. But when police arrived, they found the body of Charles Lattimore on the sidewalk. Police say they do have a person of interest in the case. A preliminary investigation shows the motive of the shooting stems from an argument that happened earlier that day. The body has been taken to Jackson for an autopsy. Indianola police need your help in finding a thief. The incident happened Wednesday at a house located in the 500 block of Cox Street. Now, according to the report, the homeowner left the house, and when she returned, she noticed 2 TVs missing. Police are still investigating the case, but if you have any information, call the Indianola Police Department. In state news, Jackson police are investigating a shooting that sent a 13-year-old girl to the hospital. But police say the girl's 16-year-old brother accidentally shot her underarm. Well, the incident happened inside of a house Friday morning. Officers are still trying to determine who owns the gun. The children's grandmother says the kids were getting ready for school when the gun went off.
I honestly cannot tell y'all how he had it, why he had it, or nothing. I don't know. I don't live here, so I honestly cannot tell y'all.
We're trying to determine who gun it belonged to at this time. It's still in its preliminary stages, so hopefully we'll have more information later today.
Right now, Jackson police say the shooting is accidental. A 64-year-old Pike County inmate dies in jail just 2 weeks before he was scheduled for release. According to Chief Deputy Gregory Martin, other inmates told jailers that David Mowak was having trouble breathing Friday. He says an ambulance took Mowak to a hospital where he was later pronounced dead. Martin says Mowak had respiratory problems and used an inhaler. He was scheduled for release April 29th after serving a 6-month sentence for telephone harassment. A suspect who led authorities on a manhunt has been captured in Madison County. Canton police say Joshua Haddon was arrested Sunday afternoon. Police say an officer spotted Haddon earlier that morning at a gas station. He was wanted on aggravated assault and kidnapping charges. Canton Police Chief Otha Brown says Haddon faces additional charges, including assault on a police officer, destruction of property, and escape. The details of Mississippi state spending for the upcoming budget year is still unclear. Mississippi's budget beginning July 1st will total $6.35 billion. That's $90 million more than the amount left after Governor Phil Bryant imposed 1.5% mid-year cuts on state agencies in January. Many agencies will take reductions varying from 2% to 12%, but shuffling of funds and mid-year cuts make it still unclear exactly how much each state agency gets in its budget. Keeping our eye on the floodwaters, the U.S. Small Business Administration approves more than $1 million in low-interest disaster loans for Mississippians. Counties eligible for physical and economic injury disaster loans includes Washington, Bolivar, Sunflower, Quitman, and Coahoma. Counties eligible only for economic injury disaster loans include Sharkey, LaFleur, Humphreys, and Ashley in Arkansas. Well, to apply for the loan, go to disasterassistance.gov. That website is shown right there on your screen. Live blues at the Juke Joint Festival have folks tapping their feet all weekend long. With Clarksdale businesses like the Bluesberry Cafe set up sidewalk stages for audiences to enjoy blues sounds. And this is Karen Demeraux's second time at Juke Joint Fest, and she says it's just as pleasurable the second time around.
I like the street venues. It's always a surprise. You never know what's really coming, and every time you turn a corner, something else is happening.
What? Do that again.
Well, Well, there was dozens of vendors on hand selling tasty snacks for those craving a Delta dish. Sounds like a lot of fun there. Music lovers traveled across the nation to attend an arts and jazz festival, where the fest showcased the finest paintings, pottery, and handmade furniture, and even jewelry. It also provided live entertainment from groups like The Vamp and Blue Mother Tupelo.
I love the Mississippi Delta, and when you put festivals plus Mississippi Delta, it's a great day. Cleveland, Mississippi, if you didn't come out to Cross Tide today, you missed it. I'm fortunate enough to have bought me a cool bracelet and talked to folks. It's been a lot of fun.
My work, it's a free-form style of crochet with a lot of hand tying. It's really funky and kind of, I call it my crocheted fantasy world.
There was also a music lineup for kids too. Well, fun, food, and fellowship were all part of a celebration in one Delta community. Well, supporters of Shaw High School turned out to show their appreciation with a cookout for their girls basketball team. This past season, the Lady Hawks had one of their best seasons with a 21-10 record, highlighted by a trip to the One State Championship game.
Community of Shaw is here to celebrate the girls' winning season. They are so proud of their hard work, but our journey does not end here. This summer, we're ready to get back in the gym and work hard so we can take the community back to Jackson.
Yeah. The Lady Hawks also say they plan on holding a fundraiser in the near future for their assistant coach who recently fell ill. Well, have you talked to your child about how to respond in an emergency? Well, a mother in Louisiana did, and it ended up saving her life. Now, the 5-year-old is being honored for her bravery. Reporter Scotty Hunter has the story.
Okay, and if I fall down and bump my toe, is that an emergency?
Kim LeBeau and her 5-year-old daughter Lainey always practice what to do in an emergency, but she never thought the young girl would have to put the training to a test. However, almost 2 years ago, it's exactly what happened when the two were home alone and Kim was facing a panic attack.
She passed out and called 911 and set the alarm.
While her mother was passed out on the bathroom floor, the then 4-year-old raced for the phone, immediately dialing 911. On the other end, Point Capiz Sheriff's Office dispatch.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
Hey.
Hey.
My mom don't feel good because she's laying on the ground because she don't feel good.
During the almost 20-minute phone call, the young girl gave first responders her address, her mother's name, and other key details to get help.
Okay, Lainey, you're doing a good job, okay?
Hearing the call for the first time, her mother emotional and thankful.
And I'm proud of her. I'm glad that she listened to everything that I've ever told her and that she actually called and got some help for me, because it could have been much more serious.
Tonight, in a room full of first responders, Lainey was recognized, honored for her bravery and quick thinking.
Congratulations, you did a wonderful job, baby.
Corporal Tate Slocum was one of the officers who responded to the scene. He says it's something other parents can learn from.
Single, married, living with grandparents, whatever. Teach your child, the basics. Your address, your phone number, that sort of thing.
The sort of thing that in this case saved a life. In New Roads, Scotty Hunter, WAFB 9 News.
What a touching story there, Riley. Would you know what to do in an emergency if you were that young?
4? How old was she? 4?
I think she was 4. 4 or 5?
I don't know if I knew all that info when I was 4.
To call 911 and then know your address.
Mm-hmm.
And just all of the information that you need to know as a kid to help in an emergency. Very interesting. Well, let's take a look at your morning Delta chat question. Is it appropriate for children to be sentenced to life without parole? Why or why not? Riley, do we have any new comments?
No new comments, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Well, what's your thought on all of this?
I don't know. This is really sad. I mean, to think of like a 16-year-old child spending the rest of his life in jail, like, it's pretty depressing. I don't know. I feel like people make mistakes.
Yes, agreed. However, for me, I definitely think it depends on what that mistake is. Well, let's go ahead and get an update with the weather.
A little bit of cloud cover out there this morning, pushing from the west towards the east. No rain with this clouds, just going to stay fairly cloudy. Warm out there as well. More new weather after the break.
All right, thanks, Riley, and definitely stay with us because I'll be joined in the studio with a special guest. Trust me, you do not want to miss it. Coming up.